Buenos dias, yackers. What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be about the top 5 places to actually launch a kayak and some pretty damn good kayak fishing out here as well. I have not tried these areas kayak fishing, but I have fished them by wading out there. So I know you can catch some trout, redfish, some flounder, and all kinds of different fish out here. So let's get the video started. Very first spot on the list is going to be Dead Man's Hole. You guys have seen this in my other videos where I've talked about it, but this is an excellent place to launch a kayak. You're going to have some wheels or something like that when you come out here, because as you can see, there's a ton of rocks everywhere out here. So you're going to need some kind of wheels so you don't tear the bottom of your kayak out. Way out there by those electrical lines is where you need to go. The water is pretty much 1 foot to 2 feet deep, almost the entire way out there, and then there's a drop off out there. As you can see, there's one guy that's waded way out there, and then there's a kayak right underneath the lines out there. This is a very, very good area to launch your kayak. What I would do is I'd park over here where the Jeep's parked, and then just take your little kayak wheel or whatever and just roll it right down here and just put it in the water. Now, I have walked out there. It's not that muddy. It's not very deep as far as mud. I've walked way out there to where it starts to drop off. It's kind of like a sandy bottom. It's not very muddy at all. But this is a very good spot out here for redfish and some pretty good sized trout out here. I have not caught anything because I haven't fished here since, I think it was July the last time that I actually fished here, and I was kind of new at fishing down here in this area. But some top waters will work good out there, some down south lures, some plastics, DOA shrimp. Pretty much everything that I mentioned out there will do really, really good. It's better to get out here early in the morning, probably between 6 and 10 a.m. You probably can't see it in the video, but the water changes color where it starts dropping off. It's just a hole out there, and that's where you want to be. Man, guys, it's chilly out here with this wind. It's probably 68 degrees, and the wind makes it feel like it's like 52 degrees. That's why I didn't bring the kayak out today. You also got this whole area out here where you can go on the other side. You can see where the guys wade fishing, and then the kayak is right behind him. This is a really good place for pretty good sized trout, 20 inches and above. So right here is where you come down the John F. Kennedy Memorial Causeway, come out on Padre Island, and then you take a left on 361 right here. Come all the way down. Right here is Packery Channel, as you guys can see. Just keep going down. Before you pass the church over here on the left is going to be the road to get to Dead Man's Hole. Just take a left right here, go across here, park right down here in this area, and where you want to put your kayak in is over in this area right here. You could also put it over in this area too if you want to. Then you're going to kayak out all the way to this hole right here. You could see the actual electric lines right here going across the water. So you want to get right on the edge of this hole right here, anywhere along this hole, even over in here, up in here, all the way around here is where you're going to catch the big fish, redfish, trout, all kinds of different fish in this hole right here. Just be aware when you're coming back to where you parked, you're gonna have to fight the wind, and this is about 1 foot to 2 feet of water right here. It's very, very shallow, and it's not real muddy. It's pretty hard bottom there, so if you can't paddle back for some reason, you could actually get out and just walk your kayak back. It's a good walk, guys, but at least you'll get back. And let me see here. If you want to get brave enough, you can venture over here in this area right here, and this is all pretty much shallow water over here, except for this little deep hole right here. It runs right here, and then there's a bunch of little islands out here that you can go along. So you got 2 deep holes here. You got one here and then you got one over on this side here. I've never fished this area over here. I've only been out here close to this hole, wade fishing. All right, guys, let's head to spot number 2 of best places to launch a kayak. Spot number 2 is going to be between Corpus Christi and Portland on the main highway. After you come over the Harbor Bridge, go past Indian Point Pier and take the next exit and then circle around and go back like you're going back to Corpus Christi. And this is some kind of Corpus Christi marsh project over here. Back behind me, there's probably, I don't know, a dozen or so, maybe 20, 30 little small islands. And the water's pretty deep back there. So it's a perfect place to launch your kayak right here. It's not really sand, it's kind of like seashells and stuff like that. So I imagine it could scratch up your kayak, but as you can see, there's plenty of room where you can pull up here. You can see my Jeep there. You can pull up here and launch your kayak and then go out there by those islands way out there. I would go over there, guys, where all those small little islands where it looks like it's man-made. Check it out here. You could see how those are man-made islands, and you could take your kayak and go in between each one of those islands and throw your top water or your DOA shrimp or your soft plastics right off the edge of those little islands and probably nail you some pretty big fish. Here, guys, you can see what these islands actually look like. Right there, check it out. Sunset Lake. First across the Harbor Bridge, and then all the way across the Nueces Bay Causeway. You are going to come into almost Portland, where you'll take the Moore Avenue exit, and you'll just do the circle around and then get on the other side of 35, come back towards Corpus Christi. You'll pass a Motel 6 somewhere over here, and then after the Motel 6 you take the first exit, which you can see right here, come up and then take your first right into the parking area where you park, and you could see all the islands right here, Corpus Marsh Project. And then this is basically a cove where you have this whole area, little bee islands out here and stuff like that. Let's head to number 3, the number 3 spot for kayak launching and fishing. Number 3 here is going to be Lighthouse Park, where you can see the Lighthouse Lakes is what they call it over here. You can see right here, a couple guys have already put their kayaks right there. You can just pull right up here, drop your kayak. Pretty damn sandy here. It's nothing but sand. Sand and fruit. You see all the way up there. You just got to make it across the channel, and then you get into that area over there and you'll be blocked by the wind a lot. So this is number 3 spot here, Lighthouse Park, where they only allow you to launch kayaks only. So what you want to do is go across the channel over there and get back there. I'll put the drone up so you guys can see it from the air. It's pretty cool. But you don't really want to go in there at night because you might get lost. So the hardest part of this thing is going to be getting across the channel here and getting over there to the shoreline and stuff like that. So this is number 3, guys. All right, Aransas Pass is up here. This is Highway 361 going to Port Aransas. Ferries are down here. You can see where Lighthouse Lakes is. This whole area is called Lighthouse Lakes, pretty much. right in here. You can see right here where you need to park. You can also park over here if you want to, and you can even park on this side. There's little pull-offs where you can back in, but I would prefer to park right here. As you can see how wide open this is, and you've seen it pretty much in the video right here. That's where I was. And all you'd have to do is cross the channel right here, and you can go in here. Right straight through here, and then you can get to all the little cuts and lakes and everything pretty much back here, guys. You can see it from a distance up here. This is all good fishing in here. And even on this side over here is real good fishing as well. All right, this is number 4, and it's as soon as you get past the Aransas Pass causeway going towards Port Aransas, it'll be the first left, sandy left, right past the little Aransas Pass sign. You can see out here, there's a kayaker already fishing out here by the island. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty good sized islands you can get up against and be protected from the wind if it's a real windy day. It's got a sand bottom. You can see the shore right here. So what I would do is since I have a 4-wheel drive, I would just pull my truck up here, drop my kayak over here, park up there. You want to make sure that you know when the tide is coming in, so your vehicle is not parked over here to where when you come back it's underwater. You know, not the whole thing, but the wheels and everything, you might get stuck. You could use some top waters out here in the morning, use some down south lures, some soft plastics like DOA shrimp would work good out here. You can catch some redfish, trout, and flounder, all kinds of different fish in this area. I know this because I know somebody that comes out here kayak fishing, and these islands. And if you go a little bit further down, there's some little teeny oil rig or gas rigs or whatever you can fish up against there and catch some pretty good sized reds right there. You can see all the islands right there, and that's where I'd be throwing a lure up against those islands and bringing it towards me. So you could actually fish either side. When you come over the causeway, you could fish on the left or on the right. On the right, there's 3 islands right there. If you get on the back side of those islands, it's pretty good fishing right there if you got a kayak. All right, let's head to number 5, guys. Number 5, last final one, is going to be Levante Park. It's pretty windy today, and you guys can see how calm the water is. Looks like a pretty good area to put the kayak in, because you're kind of blocked from the wind to a certain extent unless you get on that side over there. So on the weekends it's pretty busy here. As you can see all the way up. The only downside here would be that you have to use the boat ramp to put the kayak in. I think you can go up here by the dam. We'll check on the way out and see if you can put the kayak in up there. But again, number 5 is going to be Levante Park, I-37 as you're coming into Corpus Christi. If you don't feel like being in the bays, maybe it's too windy in the bays and you come out here, you want to put in, guys, over there at the ramp, the boat ramp, and then go to the right and go towards the railroad tracks. There's a way to get into it without putting it in here. You can actually put it in at the railroad tracks, and this is what it looks like on Google Maps. Check it out and I'll show you exactly where you can put it at. Now you can see you could actually, it looks like you park right by the railroad tracks and just launch it right there. Now I don't know how to get back here, but you can see all the different roads and stuff like that coming back to this point. You can see what looks to be private property on one of the roads, but there's other roads that go there. So hopefully, you know, you could just put it in over there and you don't have to come to Levante Park. That would be cool. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Hit that like or dislike button, and we will see you next video. Peace, guys.